Welcome to Story Time. So today I have this story to tell you guys. I'm here by myself today, so don't tell Jazz about this story. But check it out. Let me tell you this story that happened to me many years ago. I would say, over 20 years ago, about 20 years ago, around there. So check it out. I met this girl, right, out here in New York. And the girl that I met, she wasn't from New York. She was from New Mexico, right? And so she was out here in New York visiting her sister, right? She was on vacation for 2 weeks. So she already exhausted a week of her vacation, so it was her last week, right? So when I met her, I thought she was cute, whatever, she gave me her number, whatever, her number to her sister's house because that's where she was staying. At that time, cell phones weren't as big as they are now. They were, expensive, whatever. It was like a beeper thing, back then. Okay. So, we chit-chatted, whatever. When I met her, I said, I asked her how long she's gonna stay here for. She told me, well, she was gonna be here for 2 weeks, but she was already on her last week. So listen up. And what happened was, so now, me and her, we were kicking it, whatever. Everything would sound really good. So, I decided to, hang out with her for the week, and because she had told me that she was going to eventually move to New York. That was a thing, because she was going to go back to New Mexico, I think for a few months or something like that. So she was going to pack her things and move to New York with her sister in New York. But she also had another sister which was with her at the time during her vacation. So she was mainly staying with her other sister. Also, she was staying with her other sister that was from New Mexico. So they were like hanging out together, whatever. And okay, so everything was going good. I was kicking it with this girl. This girl was pretty. I thought she was cute. The thing I like, what I really liked about her a lot was that she was like really nice. And she was cute, whatever. But anyway, so what happened was I went out with her every day for the remaining week that she was out here in New York. And, we hung out like really late night, almost breaking nights here and there, So it was time for her to go back, whatever. I said, bye, So she was like, oh, you think one day you'll come to New Mexico? And I was like, yeah, I'll go to New Mexico. I'll check you out, whatever, I'll check you out. So, I'll make a plan to go check you out New Mexico. So, whatever, she gave me her email, I gave her mine and my phone number at the time. So, so she moved out she went back to Mexico. And, we emailed each other a few times, quite a few times, and we spoke on the phone also a few times. It was kind of expensive, at the time, it wasn't like unlimited thing like cell phones now. But anyway, so a couple of months passed where I made a decision to go and fly to New Mexico to go see her, because supposedly she was supposed to come back from New Mexico to live out here with her sister that was living here. So I go, all right, cool, whatever. I bought flight tickets, and I bought a brand new camcorder at the time. And no, I don't have the footage of that. I wish I still had it, but I ended up losing it down the line, the tape. And that's another story. But anyway, so I bought a flight ticket. I got ready. Meanwhile, I was going by myself. To Mexico. To go check this girl out. So that's like almost like the other side of the country. So what happened was the day came that I had to go fly, and so she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna meet you in the airport, whatever." So when I flew there, I believe the flight arrived at about a little after midnight. It was a like a night flight, whatever. I got there, so meanwhile I was by myself, and when I arrived there, I believe it was the last flight or whatever because it emptied out the airport emptied out pretty quickly, and I was like the last person walking around the hallways because I didn't see her. I couldn't find her. I was like, where the hell is she? So I was like, oh man, I gotta call her. So how to go to a pay phone at that time. Like I said, cell phones weren't a big thing. They were expensive at the time, and I had a beeper. So I was like, I gotta call her. So I went to, I was like, oh man, I hope this girl didn't, throw a bomb at me. She didn't, she's not gonna show up, whatever. So anyway, but we spoke, we spoke and stuff. So what happened was, she was like, I was like, dude, let me call her, So I ran to the pay phone. I called the phone. I called her. Her mother picked up the phone, and I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna say her name on camera, but was supposed to meet me here. She, we had made plans to meet up. She already knew, she already knew. And then she was like, she should be there. So I was like, I don't see her. And she's like, yeah, she should be there. Unless she arrived there, a little late, whatever. So I was like, all right, I'll look around, whatever. So I hung up the phone. So I started going. So I said, let me go downstairs to like the baggage claim. Even though I had my bag with me because I had one bag, a carry-on, whatever. So I was like, let me go downstairs. So as I was going down the escalator, that's when I saw her. She was trying to come up this escalator. So I was like, oh shit, what's up? I told you I was gonna come. I was gonna come out here. She was like all happy and shit. They had the big bright eyes. She was so happy, whatever. So, I was happy to see her, whatever. I thought she was cute. I really liked her a lot, whatever. I was like kicking it like that. So anyway, I went in her car, and then she drove me around a little bit, and then she stopped at like this kind of cliff, so you could see like the whole area of New Mexico. It was really nice, whatever. She was like, this is New Mexico. This is her whole thing, whatever. I was like, all right, that's nice, whatever. So, I was driving. She was driving me back towards her house, and then I was like, oh, so where am I gonna sleep at? Whatever. She had said, she's like, oh, you're gonna sleep with me. I was like, I'm gonna hit that. I was like, yeah, but I ain't say that. I said that in my mind. I'm like, But I was like, I was trying to be respectful. I was like, she cute. I don't want to try to make a move on. So I just whatever, whatever. I'm just gonna sleep with her. I'm just gonna, let her know I'm respectful like that, whatever. So anyway, and I was like, oh, it's all right. Your mom's, she lived there, whatever. She was like, yeah, don't worry about it, whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So I got to her house, whatever. I saw her mom. I had met her mom when she was out here in New York, whatever. When she was on vacation. So anyway, so whatever. So boom, she showed me her room and stuff, and she saw, she had like a little microphone karaoke thing, so she showed me she could sing. She could sing, all right. I was like, you cute, you sound cute, whatever. And then whatever, so that it was, it was late night, whatever. I talked to her mother, her stepdad, I spoke to him, and then it was time to go to bed, whatever. But I wasn't thinking like I'm gonna hit it or nothing like that. That didn't even cross my mind, because I liked her a lot. I was like, I ain't going. What I'm saying, I'm trying to be respectful. She was like cute, whatever. So whatever. I spent the night with her. I slept with her. We slept together in the same bed, but I didn't do anything. So what happened was the next day in the morning. It was the next, no, it wasn't all right, the next day, she wanted me to go with her to a school, So I was like, all right, whatever, I go, to the school with her because they were having like some party at a school, I don't know what school that was, but whatever. So I went over there, I got dressed, boom. I threw on like a suit. You know what I'm saying? I was looking fly. So anyway, I went there in a suit and shit. So she was like, introducing me to people, that she knew, whatever. They were like, she was like, he's from New York and shit. I was like, yeah, representing New York, whatever. They were like, oh yeah, whatever. So anyway, she was like introducing me to people. We sat down for a little bit, whatever. So then we ended up going to a game, a game. It was like a football game, whatever. So whatever. I was like recording and stuff like that. I didn't think anything, whatever. So she was still telling people I'm from New York, whatever. So what happened was that night, after that day, I spent the night again. So with her. So the next day, I believe it was Sunday morning, right? So she goes like this. She goes, I'm going to church. She goes like that. So I know she goes to church, whatever. What type of church she goes, whatever. She's religious or whatever. So she was like, oh, I'm going to church. You want to come? And I was like, like, yeah, I go. I really didn't really want to go, but I was like, all right, well, I go with you, whatever. I didn't know what she was, what religion she practiced, whatever. But I was like, yeah, I really want to go, But and then she was like, you know what, you could stay here. She told me like that, so I was like, I'll stay here, whatever, And then she was like, oh, my other sister's gonna be here, so she's not gonna go, or something like that, So I was like, all right, so I stood there. And so that's when the change happened. When she came back from church, she started acting funny, like she wasn't so talkative, and then throughout the day she wasn't like really talking to me that much. I was trying to talk to her, she was kind of ignoring me, so I already got the bad vibe. We ended up going to what do you call it, amusement park, and she was acting mad shady. So I was like, nah, I'm in trouble. Now I felt like I just wanted to leave, I was like, I just want to get a flight now. She acting stupid, whatever. She was acting shady. She wasn't talking that much. I was like, it must have been a church thing, whatever. So night came and she was driving. We was driving in her car. She was driving the car. I was in her car, and then what happened was I was like, oh, what's up with you? You're acting funny, you're not talking to me, as much as you did, And then so she pulled over the car and she was like, oh, I gotta let you know something. And I was like, well, what's what's up? What's going on, So she was like, I gotta let you know that, she goes, I decided to give my heart to Jesus. I was like, alright, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You want to give your heart to Jesus? Alright, cool. Like, what does that mean? To me, I was like, what does it mean? Alright, fine, whatever. So it was that church thing, I'm gonna trigger her mind, whatever. So I was like, alright, whatever, So what you telling me, So now she didn't wanna mess with me, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't wanna be with me like that. So I was like, oh, now I was like disappointed. I was like, oh, now you changing. You made me come out here, At least you should have waited for me to leave, right? So I was like, oh, I came out here, expecting, me, hook up, whatever. You told me that you was gonna go back to New York. I'm gonna see you in New York, that you were gonna move to New York and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, I had a couple of more days though before my flight, to go back to New York. So I was like, damn, I could leave, change my flight or whatever, or I could just stay here and deal with the garbage or whatever. I could deal with it and, So, we ended up going back to the house, and then I was like, oh, her mother, like, she wanted to talk to me, and then her mother had asked me, because she must have told her mother about it. And she was like, oh, what did you expect from her or whatever? And I said, well, she said she was going back to New York. I thought, things were going good between me and her, blah, 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 and so on. And then she was like, oh, her mother was like, oh, but what about the sleeping arrangements? She was saying that. Had said, she said, I forgot. she must have told her mom or something like that, because I was like, wherever, I'll sleep on the couch, whatever, something like that. And then she was like, she had said, no, he could sleep with me, whatever. So I was like, whatever, I'll sleep with her, or, no big deal, So I just, I felt like, I'm gonna stay, but whatever, just gonna be like friends, whatever, I guess, So I already wanted to go home, I was like, it was in the mood. So her sister was like, oh, if you want, you could come, like hang out with me, I should have went for a sister, right? Nah, but I wasn't gonna do that, I was over there. So she was like, oh, you come hang out with me, I'll go take you where you want to go. So I was like, oh yeah, I would have liked to see Roswell, New Mexico, and I was wanting to check out the area. She was like, there's nothing to see over there, but it's like 200 miles. So I was like, nah, that's too far, She was like, there's really nothing to see, it's all like desert plain. But I was like, yeah, I would like to just, even just drive by, whatever. But she was like, you want, I'll take you. And I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, nah, So, what happened was, after the 2 days, 2 more days were up, my flight, I had to go back to New York, and then I ended up flying back to New York, all disappointed. And then when I flew back to New York, I spoke to her one more time, which was, I believe, the next day. I spoke to her, and I said the same thing. Oh, you made me come over there. I thought things were gonna work out, whatever. So anyway, so that's what pretty much that's what happened. I spent tons of money though. I had to prepare to go over there. It wasn't cheap. And long story short, I don't think it's a good idea to do things like that. I don't know if long distance relationships actually work, but I don't think they really work that well. You really need the person together. You need to be there with that person. And whatever it is that triggered her, whether it's the church or she just flipped out like that, I don't know what it was. But, maybe it was me, right? But, no, that wasn't me. I don't, it has something to do with the church. I don't know. So, whatever, I should have went to church with her, right? Nah, but that's not the thing. But whatever. So, I spoke to her one more time on the phone. And then that was it. I never spoke to her again, and that was the end of this story. And I guess everything happens for a reason, right? And no big deal. So anyway, so guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm gonna catch you guys later on the next story video or whatever I put up. So peace out.